Alright, my little art friends, an exciting tutorial today. We're no longer doing Photoshop manipulation, we're doing Photoshop animation. So what I've got here is I've got a little blank new sheet of Adobe-ness, and I'm going to make a little animation of here, of a little ball starting in the bottom corner and shooting to the top. So I'm going to jump right in here. I'm going to grab my paintbrush, and I've got a color black selected, so that's fine. I'm going to make a little black ball. Over here in my layers, I have a background layer and it's white. That's great. I'm going to keep it like that, and I'm going to come down here to this little post-it note looking thing with a little bent tab on it. It says create new layer. And when I click on that, it makes a new layer, layer 1. Great. On layer 1, I'm going to start my animation by drawing a little ball in the corner there. Look at that. Is that not the best thing you've ever seen? Pretty exciting. All right, now, well, I'm done. No, not kidding. We need a few more layers there. So I'm going to click the layer again. I got layer 2. There's nothing on it. I'm going to draw the ball again. This time I'm going to draw it a little bit higher, like the ball is starting to go into the sky. Pretty nice. All right, I'm going to do another layer. You know, I could just go to this little menu thing here and get a new layer there, and it'll ask me, do I want to call it layer 3? And I'll be like, okay, sure. And then I got a third layer in my layer palette, and I'm going to draw the ball again a little bit further. Oh, yeah. And I'm just going to keep up this process. Here's layer 4 here. And I think I'm going to do a layer 5 just to be crazy and put it all the way in the corner, like, oh, it's leaving the page. All right, that's basically it. That's my animation starting from the bottom. This little ball is going to shoot up into the sky and disappear off the page. So how do I do the animation part? We're almost done, believe it or not. This is so easy. You go to Window, you come down to Timeline, you open the timeline. I click on Timeline, you see it has a timeline here. There's a little button at the bottom that says Create Frame Animation. It may say, with this drop down, it may say yours probably defaults to create video. So just make sure when you have it, you just go to create frame animation. And if it says create frame animation, you click on it. Boom. And then you can see in my timeline, I've got my first frame with all the balls in it. Okay. That's great, except for I want to have more than one frame, because one frame animation is not going to do it. For this, we're going to have at least 5 frames, one for each of the balls moving. So what I do is I come over to this side of the timeline, and I see a little menu there. I click on that, and it's got this little gidgety thing right here, Make Frames from Layer. Make Frames from Layer. And if I click on Make Frames from Layer, it will make frames from layer. Look at that. It took each one of my frames, each one of my layers, excuse me, and made it into a frame of my animation. And actually, I can pretty much be done now. I just press the play button, and there goes the ball, animating. All right, not perfect. A couple things wrong with it. Number 1, the first frame is just the background. I don't really want the background. There's nothing on it. I actually want it to start with a ball. So I'm just going to get rid of that. There's a little garbage pail here. Boom. Yes, I want to delete that frame, and it's gone. Now, the next thing you'll notice is frame 1 doesn't have the background layer on it. It only has the ball, and I don't want that. I want the background layer. So I'm going to come back to my layers, and I'm going to click on the eyeball there so it shows up. Now I go to the second one. I see it's the same problem. Layer 2 is showing, but the background's not, so I click on it. Now if I want to speed up the process, I could click on layer 3, hold down the Shift key, go to layer 5, and then I can turn them all on at one time. That makes it a lot easier. Now when I play my video, look at that. Now, that might go really fast with yours the first time you do it, depending on what speed it's set for. If you see right here, it says 0 seconds. If I click on that, I can change the amount of delay time. Like I can have 2 seconds, and that's going to make it a little slower on that first, see, just a little delay. Again, I can hold down the first frame. I can hold down the last frame, holding down the Shift key, and then I can change them all to the same amount of delay. So 0.1, let's try that. A little slower, a little easier to work with. All right, the last thing. If you notice, my animation continues to go. Yours may only go one time, like that. That's because this little drop-down menu here, it says once. If you click on that and you change it to forever, it will loop. Loopity, 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 loop. Great, my animation's done. I'm pretty excited with it. And I want to save it. So this is a little different. We're not going to save it as a JPEG. We're not going to save it as a Photoshop document. Matter of fact, we're not even going to save it per se. We're going to go to File, and we're going to export it. And under Export, there is something called Save for Web Legacy. And under Save for Web Legacy, if you click on that, again, Export, Save for Web Legacy, it will come up with this. It defaults to a GIF. It will down here say how many times it's looping forever. I really just go with the defaults because I'm happy with everything there because there's so much stuff. I don't even know what this means. Okay, so I hit save. It's going to ask me what I want to call it, and I'm going to call this, thingy. And I'm going to save it to my desktop. Looks good. Save. And it's done. Let's go check it out. Minimize that. I got a nice Google Doc open here. I got my thingy GIF. I'm going to drag it and drop it right onto that. Let's see if it works. Look, it works on the web. Fantastic. So what I want you to do is I want you to create an animation using all the techniques you just learned in this very super short tutorial. Okay, bye.